Okay. And we're going to do a little talk, a little transmission that came through about the upcoming eclipse. Eclipse season oftentimes happens twice a year. Okay. Bookmarked by a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, or sometimes reversed. All right. How's everybody feeling? It's been active. A lot of people having physical symptoms lately. Interesting. I said that and my hand was shaking. Tired. Tired. All right. We've got two tireds. And also tired to energize, like, and really hungry. Being pulled into old patterns. What sleep? Tired but wired. Yeah, I saw that that phrase, tired and wired, which is like a typical ascension. It's like you're tired, but you have that like zingy going down your spinal column. It's like Kundalini energy. All over the place, mentally and physically spent and disorganized. Well, Stephanie, you came to the right place because that's what we do. We organize here, okay? I have to share something about coherence, okay? The power of coherence and why developing the heart is so essential. The heart is the ultimate unifier, right? So that's why developing it, giving it your attention, being present with it, feeling oneness with it, which is what we typically do in these sessions at some point. What that does is it starts to bring your field into coherence, into harmony. All right. So we don't feel disorganized. We don't feel fragmented. We come all aspects of us come into this eternal present moment. And what they were showing me was that each of us has our own unique. I don't like the word snowflake because it's loaded nowadays, but we each, they're showing me a snowflake, and that each of us has our own unique snowflake. And that when we come into coherence, that it's like sacred geometry, right? And that is your signature, and that's where you can be holding the most light because you're not disorganized. So we're going to organize today. We're going to get into coherence so that each of us can come into our own divine signature. And we always, as a result, that raises our vibration. It boosts our light body. So as we ascend, we are getting less material, less matter, and into more etheric. Okay. We're activating our light body, our quantum aspect, so that we are not just in this 3D experience. We're able to expand our perspective, our consciousness, our awareness into our quantum aspects. And that's what allows us to supersede or transcend these limitations that we've all agreed to in the 3D. Hannah's body is struggling. Okay, we'll do a little physical body love today as well, like we did last week, because remember, as the physical body is ascending, it has to hold higher states of consciousness, higher frequencies. And so it needs to update too. So that's why it goes through very strange experiences as it upgrades to be able to hold higher frequency. The energy has been really, really disorganized lately. I'm just reading Stephanie's comment. So it's a constant practice. I'm not kidding you. I've been doing these Monday sessions for, Betsy, how long have I been doing this for? Because you were here from day one, a couple years. But they nudged me and they said, keep doing the Mondays because it's going to get more and more disorganized in the field. And it's just even just one day a week for us to come together collectively to reawaken the divine within us, which brings us into coherence and brings us into remembering, is something that is just becoming more and more necessary as things continue to unwind. So this is a good segue into what we're going to talk about before we begin our healing, which is eclipse season. Okay. Now, disclaimer, I always say this when I start talking about astrology. Astrology, I don't research. I'm not a big expert in astrology. It's just not something I think it's so necessary. I think it's so important and it's so helpful to navigate this human experience. But for whatever reason in this journey, in this lifetime for me, it hasn't been something like I research, but every once in a while I get nudges like, this is important. Here's a download to go with this. And so I always give that disclaimer because I got a download about this upcoming eclipse season. And I also simultaneously have not researched like where the planet placements are. So I'm just sharing what's come through. And I do know this about eclipse season, and this is what my guides have told me as well. They're oftentimes, they come twice a year, right? Sometimes there's 3 eclipse seasons, but it's bookmarked by the lunar and the solar eclipse. Sometimes it's reversed, but essentially it's a window, okay? And it's a window. Some people use the term portal, and it's an opportunity for those of us who want to take the invitation to accelerate our alignment to our divine plan. Okay, to what we kind of mapped out as our highest potential in this lifetime. So it's like a window, a 2-week window of let's go into this and let's get even more aligned to our divine plan. So you can even look at it as a destiny point. But here's the thing, is that the thing is that we're in the ascension process. We're in an accelerated window of alignment, realignment, which is why it feels noisy. So this pocket within a pocket is even more acceleration. And so if you think about that, what does that mean? Well, it means it could feel really messy, okay? Because oftentimes, and this is what they were showing me, is like a thread being pulled. And that thread just basically wrapped around us as our false self, our conditioning, our program, everything that we've learned as armor that we wear that interferes with our authentic self, right? And that thread just is pulled and pulled and pulled when we want to come more into alignment. And it can feel like we are just spinning. And so they say, okay, we're going into eclipse season. This one's a big one because the energies are already intense and heightened. And just be prepared to feel messy. Now, it doesn't mean you have to. Maybe some people are not going to feel messy, but the biggest thing is not to judge yourself for feeling messy, because also within that is there's no perfect way to ascend. There's no one who's doing it. I mean, there might be some people who are doing it just like, a peaceful monk, but very few, because we're human and we have many layers to us. And also, like for somebody like me who I've had to unwind from PTSD, there's a whole healing the nervous system that comes along with touching our authentic selves, like reaching our authentic selves. And, when we're trying to heal the nervous system, but sometimes it's like in fight or flight and it's not always pretty. So we have to be really kind to ourselves and stop the judgment around what it looks like to ascend. It's going to be different. It's going to look different for me as it does to you. And it's like the moment we start judging, now we're back in the ego, we're out of the heart, and it just can get a lot trickier. So it was like, there's no perfect way to ascend. Remember that as we go into eclipse season, that oftentimes when we feel the messiest, that's also unwinding programming around perfectionism, around me needing to look put together all the time as my sweater is coming up. It's like, we don't have to look put together all the time. We can come as we are. We're good enough as we are. right? And so that's one little pin. The other one is, this is the download that came through for eclipse season for this one, this upcoming one that begins Thursday or Friday, depending on where you live in the world. Interestingly, what is coming through is the confronting what discipline looks like in your life. Okay? Because that's another inversion for many of us. We have learned what we've learned to be like that discipline's important if you want to get stuff done and all these things. But what is sourcing that discipline is lack, is fear, is not being good enough, is a program of you have to do it this way, or obligation in order to be successful, and blah, 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 blah. Instead of what they're saying is sacred discipline. I want to do this. I want to take care of my body. Because they're saying that discipline it's foundational to transformation. We need discipline. Like we need to enforce discipline in our life, which is also taking action in order to agree to our highest potential. All right. But what we're being asked is to re-examine what the source of that discipline is in your life. What's sourcing that? Is it not being good enough? What's underneath that? Because what the old paradigm has us doing, if you think about discipline, oftentimes being directed from the solar plexus, right? The solar plexus of taking action, of willpower, right? Well, what's sourcing that willpower? Is it our ego, or is it love? Right? Is it I love my life so much. I love my body. I love this experience. I love everybody. I love this earth. I love it so much that I want to live my highest potential. Right? It's a totally different thing. And I love the gift that I've been given of this life. Right? And so that's why developing the heart is always essential, because void of developing the heart, then discipline comes from the ego. And this is what they said to me, because there's some of you who, you might have decent discipline, but they're saying that if that discipline is sourced by any sense of lack, it will never fulfill us. Okay? And that sacred discipline that's sourced by love, self-love, kindness, compassion, that is what brings us to fulfillment. And so we're going to begin our healing, but I want to say this, speaking of sacred discipline for my life, right? I have all these ideas for classes and programs that I need a little bit more sacred discipline for. And they're like, just do it, put something on the calendar. So this Friday, I'm doing a Zoom at 12 p.m. Eastern around this topic. It's going to be the first day of the lunar eclipse. Okay. What it will be is an hour. We'll open up with a nice attunement. We'll go deeper into this topic. Okay. We will do some Q&A. We will do some intention setting, and then we'll close it with another healing attunement. And so I'll send an email out if anybody wants to join. It's going to be on Zoom. And that's also my way of starting to take action in a beautiful, compassionate way for myself, because it's hard for me to do these things sometimes. And I would love for any of you to join me. So with that being said, let's take a moment to start to shift out of the thought realm and towards your breath. So it's like you're redirecting your attention away from your thoughts and bringing it to your breath. And the breath is what invites you into the eternal present moment. And so allow your breath to be your anchor point where you focus. And if you'd like, maybe place a hand on your belly, on your heart, and just give your body, your physical body, a blessing and thank it. Thank you. Kindness to the body. And let's take 3 breaths together. So let's take a nice belly breath in and then just sigh it out. Again, breathing in through the belly, sighing it out. Once again, breathing in and exhaling. And let's just pause here. We'll do a half a minute of silence. This is an opportunity to practice stillness, to practice finding space from your thoughts and just seeing what's there, just observing without overanalyzing. And if you get pulled into your thoughts, that's okay. You just notice and then you redirect over and over. That's how we train. Okay. That's how we train the mind, is by noticing when we get pulled into it and then choosing something different, choosing to redirect into the observer where we are just pure awareness. And so just finding your breath, and we'll just pause for about half a minute. And then just focusing on your breath. I invite you to bring your full focus, your full attention to your breathing, allowing your attention to come to this single point of your breath. And as you do this, you're calling back your energy. Okay, so any fragmented, scattered energy is coming back in right now. Because remember, your energy always follows your focus. And so when you bring your focus, 100% of your focus, to this eternal present moment through the breath, that is where your energy goes. And so just breathing and just feeling or sensing your energy coming to this single point. Beautiful. And now we'll call in our ring of light. So call in your ring of light. For those who are new today, that is a cue for us to be aware of our spirit team, of our angels, our guardians of the light, our metaphysical team, our team that agreed to be with us while we incarnated into human form, okay? And they agreed to be with us for moments where we need help, where we have forgotten, we've gotten too pulled into forgetfulness. And what they do is they just mirror to us who we are. They mirror our divinity. They mirror our unconditional love. And so just pausing right now as you feel that beautiful, high vibrational ring around you, that ring of light surrounding you. This is a nice way to practice feeling your guides, feeling your angels without over analyzing. So many people get discouraged when they try to reach out to their angels or guides because they have expectations of what that needs to look like. Clear that away, clear away your expectations and just feel them. Feel that beautiful high vibrational ring of light around you, and how magnificent that we each are doing that right now. Feeling our team in community and just breathing here. I'm receiving a message for all of us to hold the intention to clear our environment. Okay. So just from a place of love, from a place of ease, also asking your team, asking your angels and your guides right now to support you in clearing your home or wherever you are right now of any interference. Okay. So any energy that's interfering with you connecting to the divine within you, with you feeling the truth of who you are, we are clearing that away from our environment. We are asking our angels to support us in this request, in this intention, and then just breathing here as we feel the energy in our environment start to soften, start to lift, as we want the energy around us to support our highest expression, not to deplete us. Feeling the ground right now, just sensing the ground, sensing the earth, as we feel our energy move down into our body, into our field. If anybody needs to invite their spirit fully in, this is the time to do it. Those of us star seeds, empaths, light workers, those of us who are here to support the frequency, we are more comfortable in the non-physical. All right. But we have to be here on earth. And so it is a practice to come back in, bring spirit back in, so we're not floating. Because remember, we want to come back home so that we're not leaving our field open. We want to come back home to turn our lights on. We are home. The moment you come home and you are present in your field, there's nothing else that can come in. So just breathing here as we start to bring our awareness to our heart. I'm placing my hands on my heart. I feel like connecting to my heart physically right now as well. Just landing here as we beautifully, compassionately breathe into the heart, this powerful energy center that we are just starting to learn about. There's so much that the heart center does, the energetic heart. And just by breathing into the heart and bringing your attention to the heart, expands it, expands the energy field, the force field around the heart. So just simply breathe into the heart. It's as simple as this, to bring your attention, your presence to your heart. And in this moment of breathing into the heart, let's go another layer deeper, where we really just take a break from our 3D personality, from our human personality. Take a break from your name, from your identity, and just feel the vastness when we do that. Remember, our identity, our personality is what holds all of our constraints, all of our limitations. So just take a break and just feel you through your soul right now. As you breathe into the heart, how nice just to feel that expansiveness, feel and experience ourselves beyond limitation as eternal, infinite energy in our own unique vessel. And as you breathe into the heart and you merge your awareness, you merge your consciousness with the heart, start to feel oneness with the heart. The entire field starts to come into coherence, into your own unique sacred geometry. And it is through this sacred geometry that is your unique blueprint that allows for those beautiful higher vibrational codes to come through. That is part of your gift to humanity. And so as we feel that beautiful heart bringing waves of unconditional love into our field, may we also lovingly breathe into the solar plexus as we reawaken the solar plexus to the power of the heart, so that the solar plexus is not working alone. So our willpower, our action is in unison with the heart. And so you can just feel the solar plexus beautifully radiating this energy out and merging with the heart right now. And this is what they say this eclipse is about as we're moving into this. And just breathing here as we allow this imprint, this remembering to reverberate through every layer of our being. And as we pause here, we feel that ring of light around us, the angels. And we bring through an attunement to support each of us into raising our frequency to our highest divine expression. And so feeling this attunement right now, that's moving through this group, this vessel, moving through each of our fields, moving through every layer, clearing out any imbalance, any density, layer by layer, physical body, mental body, emotional body. Every layer within our field is being cleared right now of imbalance. Any residual resistance, any residual fear, just clearing it out. And anything that's clearing is just being sent back to source. And just breathing here. May we allow this beautiful heart energy that we've summoned as we've awakened within us, let's radiate it into the middle of this circle that we've created together. And let's just breathe in unison as we allow ourselves to both receive and give love to each other, the highest expression of the heart, because it reminds us and remembers us that we are all one. May we send this love to the entire planet, as we bless the planet and all beings on the planet. And just breathing here. Staying in a place of love, not moving, out of just pure acceptance for what is, while holding the highest timeline directed through the heart. It's energetic. It's not something we need to think about. And just breathe. And then let's place a beautiful shield around us, a beautiful gold shield around your aura. And this is just to filter out noise so that you can keep this beautiful coherence within you, this divine order within you. The more harmony we feel within our field, the more light we can hold. And then just coming back to the breath, feeling your energy right now. And let's take one final breath together. So take a nice deep breath in, and then just release it. And as we close, we bring to our awareness that all that we've released, all that we've cleared, and all that we have reawakened within us, it is complete. It is done. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, Daniela. Blessings to everyone. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Monique and Zoom user and Betsy and Sasha. Thank you, and Oda. Yes, Marley, I'll send more information about Friday. Remember, Friday at 12 p.m. noon Eastern, 1 hour on Zoom.